we thought we better take a little look, see some of the things we learned today, some of the new riders we saw, some of the track changes. Look what we've got here. We've got 223 Motorsports.
Correct.
Austin Jones, buddy. Hey, welcome, buddy. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me. This is great. I'm excited.
First of all, you better tell us a little bit about what the heck's going on with 223 Motorsports.
Yeah, I mean, stepped away from racing and took up a role with the MX101 team, you know, kind of main practice mechanic and then race day mechanic for Preston Kilroy. It's still a little bit of time on my hands, so I started up my own business, helping out all the locals at Sandali, and I've actually got some outside business from the U.S. and other provinces, so everything's been good. I'm pumped, and I'm looking to grow it and keep on this track.
And how do we find you online?
223 Motorsports on Instagram. All my contact stuff's in there, same as Facebook. All my phone number, all that stuff's on there, and I can help you out, whatever you need, everything moto.
Awesome. Okay, well, all right, so we got a perfect guy. Tuesday Oz, we used to call him, because if he ever raced as fast as he was on Tuesdays, he'd have been cleaning these things up, right?
Damn right.
He'd be a multi-time champ by now. But anyway, there's a few things that happened here. So we're standing, as you can see, the beautiful backdrop behind us. You can see the finish line here. They've done a few changes. Some things have gone back to the way they used to be years ago. For example, cement start pad, first 2 rounds here we've got. It's a 180 first turn.
Yeah, I do like that. I like the 180 thing, you know, a little bit safer. But the cement, yeah, just drive the dozer straight through that and plow it into the city, and let's get back to some dirt starts.
Right, okay, so we got you do the 180, you come back like it used to go. I mean, if you look at some of the old videos and things. But then you come around and there's a section that's kind of cool, but we don't use it anymore, which you said you kind of wish you did like that.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool section, and it made for actually some passing opportunities as it got rough as the day went on. After that tunnel, where we're now going backwards on it, where we used to go the other way when it was part of the track, made for good passing opportunities, and I think it's kind of going to be a bummer that that's not part of the track, but it looks like they've added some other things, made some changes, so hopefully it kind of balances itself out.
Yeah, like the changes you mentioned, after you do that start, you come around, there's kind of a chicane in there now, which slows it down a tiny bit and gives us a little more chance to, for me, for taking photos and videos, and for the crowd to be a little closer to a little bit of the slowed down action, I would say.
Yeah, watching my junior premix guy today, Johnny Bergeron, he was experimenting with both inside outside, and I saw him make some passes doing both, so it looks like that section might play a factor tomorrow in both classes, so looking forward to it and see what will happen.
Yeah, and like you're saying too, because at first amateur day today, right, so there's some great racing in there. The numbers were a little down, I would say. Like some classes of course were big, some of the junior classes, but some of the numbers, I mean, we didn't have full gates in every class, that's for sure, but there was some good racing. I mean, the racing at the front was good in just about every class, and like you mentioned, some guys would try the insides, but they tilled it and watered it so much because it was hot and dry, as you can see, and breezy, so it really dries out. So guys were avoiding the inside a lot of times. Like say, Jonathan Bergeron was trying some insides, but hopefully tomorrow we're going to get some guys being able to do everywhere on the track.
I like the schedule change with the 250 A and B going before the premix to kind of break in some lines. And
a practice.
Yeah.
Full practice.
Well, I think that's still up in the air. I think it's going to be timed.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Okay. According to the boss man, Kevin Tyler, it's timed. Okay. And I'm going to believe him.
Okay, because they were saying, right, 12 minutes of practice.
Yep. But in the manager's meeting, it was supposed to be timed.
Okay, so maybe things will
find out in the morning.
All right, we don't have all the answers, but we can tell you there is some discussion going on about how to do practice and qualifying.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
I guess we'll find out in 16 or so hours.
Okay, and they didn't run Shaw Valley, so that's always added on Pro Day. So the riders weren't doing some of that today. They will do that tomorrow, and when they come out, there's a new approach to the finish line, which I actually like, and we were saying too, you kind of thought it ended up kind of one line before?
Yeah, racing it last year, it was super inside, and then you jump the double on the inside. It was actually almost not impossible, but very tough to jump the double if you were on the outside of the double, so it just funneled to that inside.
Right.
I think this with a straight line approach, that outside before, it'll be quite usable, and it'll make for some good setup action for maybe the corner after the finish.
Right, okay. And I noticed they added some jumps. They had a real booter here, like after the finish line, you make a left, and there's actually it's like a supercross table kind of thing. Shoots the rider straight up in the air.
Yeah, it really does. I'm looking forward to it. My guy's got some supercross experience, and they got walls on supercross, so
excellent.
I'm happy with it.
Okay. Okay, so as we head into tomorrow, we saw a couple riders show up. I'm going to jump straight ahead to the James Lissamore came up to me and he's like, you're never going to guess who's here. So, of course, I'm guessing people. I'm guessing all kinds of names wrong. He goes, no, go over there, number 102. I go, does 102 mean anything? He's like, nope, just go take a look. So I go over there. You might be too young to remember this, but I go over there. Jared Allison is going to be racing. You remember the twins, Jared and Parker Allison? Jared is racing on the 102 Honda 250. Sorry, I said 450. He's riding the 250 class. Brighton Allison is here spinning the wrenches, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Do you remember the twins?
Briefly. I remember seeing their name. At that point in my life, I wasn't super into the sport, but I do remember the names. They ring a bell, and well enough to know that they are badasses on a motorcycle, and their names are going to be remembered for a while. So I'm excited to see that, watch that. And I've heard Galdi and Noof talk about it and how they're supposed to be coming back. So clearly there's a bit of hype there, and it'll be cool.
He was talking, well, actually another one who's here, riding the 450 class on a 302 stroke, another classic. He's well into his 50s. I don't want to say too much. Julian Cerny is back on a 302 stroke. So that's, and they're parked beside each other over there. It's pretty funny to see. I mean, what year is this? I was kind of asking myself.
That name does not ring a bell to me.
He is a legend at the Glen Helen World Vet. I think he's raced every one.
Okay. I respect someone who can race Glen Helen at a pace.
Oh, yeah. He goes. He won the plus 50 class.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, so that's a couple interesting things. I also saw some other guys. Number 31, McCoy Bruff is here. He's a top 10 rider from last year. He brought a guy, Bender, up from California, who they actually said nobody wanted to say who was faster. So we got two new guys that could be added to that top 10.
I know them both.
Okay, here we go.
I spent some time this winter, both of them. They're both at Mesquite while I was with Kilroy. Dakota is an extremely good starter. Dubach is his trainer, and we know Dubach can start. So look for Dakota to grab a couple top 3 starts and run up there for the first 10 minutes of the moto. I just saw him at the Stopwatch National at Glen Helen do that with some big names.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's a good addition
look
then.
for him to start. And McCoy also rides a motorcycle very, very fast.
He's the only Bruff here, though, I think.
Nope, Gav's here.
Gavin is here, too?
Yep, Gav is here. Gav and Gary, the father that owns Mesquite, he is also here.
Okay.
I saw the fam here today.
See, we're learning things.
Yep.
That's good. We got a guy like the Oz man here on the inside here, for sure. Okay, let's talk while we got you here, and it's great that you're here. The 223 Motorsports. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. The big question is, and you're obviously in that pit, Jess Pettis, does he have a chip? How badly does he need to beat Dylan Wright to kind of, validate the whole thing? What are you thinking? I'm jumping ahead to this.
I hear all this, like he got lucky, blah, blah, blah. You make your own luck. He finished all the races, and he got the number plate.
Absolutely.
And tomorrow, he is going to prove why he has that number 1
Here
on
we
his
go.
flag.
Love it. Yeah. I think, what I said in our little preview podcast I did with Chris Pomeroy, I said that I think he is still the one that is improving at the quickest amount right now.
I would agree.
Right.
Even watching him, 4 or 5 months ago, to now, the last 2 weeks have been our best 2 weeks, 100%. So he's peaking at the right time. These are some of his best tracks. And to start on a high note is going to mean a lot to him, the team, to everyone supporting. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I think he's going to surprise people, even though it shouldn't be a surprise.
No, of course. Exactly. It shouldn't be a surprise. Who do you think any of the 3 riders now? We'll throw obviously Dylan Wright and Phil Nicoletti into this mix in the 450 class. Does any of them need to win tomorrow to make a statement, or is it just let's see what happens and work our way into this series?
I think all 3 of them need to win.
You think so?
Yep. I think round 1, you need to win. It's a statement. It's a confidence thing. Everyone's guessing themselves. Should they be guessing themselves? No, they know how elite they are. But I know as a previous rider that they are all guessing themselves, and each one of them needs a reason to go to next week and confident, and that reason is a win.
Right. Okay. I honestly think the only person who isn't guessing himself is Dylan. I think Dylan still has that confidence where he thinks he's going to go out and win. And like I said, I hope it's a good battle. The one guy who's really downplaying his speed and fitness and everything and his age, Phil Nicoletti, is really downplaying this. And I think he's doing that as maybe a defense mechanism.
I respect the game.
You think? Yeah, it's the game. I agree.
We all know he's friends with Coop. Coop plays the game. Phil's learning from the best.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if you've heard anything. Like, we put that little video up of him from the press conference, really down, talking about trying to hold off the dad bod.
Yeah.
I hope those 2 guys respect their elders.
I saw him on the spin bike today, walking around with no shirt on, flexing. He knows he's ready. Don't listen to that.
Right. Like I say, and by the way, Brighton Allison is turning into Phil Nicoletti. If you go over to, they look, and I guess he's heard it a few times because I mentioned, he's like, yeah, everybody keeps saying that. So it's actually kind of funny. He's never met Phil, so I want to bring him over to him and say, it's like looking in a mirror.
And technically, Phil took my number, so I'm still racing.
Oh, there you go.
That's my number.
Okay.
That's me. I'm racing,
Okay.
I'll take it.
Wrong bike. You're going to get in trouble. KT's going to be mad. Okay, so today was super hot, super windy, dried out. By the end of the day, it was too dusty to take any photos. It just got to a point where, I mean, it's amateur. They lost kind of control of it, right? And it's really difficult here to do that, to keep control of the track in those conditions. Tomorrow, high of 17, probably a bit of overcast. It's going to be ideal. Like, they may be able to keep moisture in this thing.
I think for the track side of things, it couldn't be better. You know, there's a little bit of chance of rain, so maybe we get a little bit. Maybe it keeps some moisture in it, and it looks like they're laying to the water to it right now. So,
and they're ripping it pretty deep too.
They
it looks
are
like
ripping it deep, and it needs to be that way. It's proper. As we said before, I like the 250 guys qualifying first to get lines in, and they can kind of go from there. Realize, okay, they've actually dried it out more than we thought, or vice versa. So they can go from there. It should be good. I think tomorrow might be the best national we've seen since.
Yeah, let's hope
COVID
it's overcast, and it could be perfect. Another thing we haven't talked about too, actually, 250 class. Let's jump back to that. Wyatt Kerr, obviously he downplayed the effect of what he actually did to his knee. He obviously shattered it in 3 pieces. He's had surgery. It's been 3 weeks. He's here. He wants to try to ride. It sounds to me like he's moving towards maybe missing this one, but we're going to find out tomorrow. Have you heard anything else?
I have not. His team manager Rooney was talking to me, and he's like, "It's worse than everyone thinks." Mm-hmm. To me, hearing that, it's almost like maybe he should go back home, rest up, and see on the East Coast and prove a point there. But we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, I guess, like I said, we won't know. I sat with them actually earlier in the Priority MX pit there, and they were talking, and it sounded like, obviously, everybody knows the wise thing would be not to race, but right, this is motocross. Yeah. If you can get on the bike and go, you try, and so that's kudos to him for trying. If he's, you know what I mean, if he wants to, it's killing him not. He's got a bone to pick. This is the place where he actually did break his back a couple years back, so he doesn't want to skip this one, but it might be the wise thing to do. We'll know tomorrow morning.
Yep. Yeah, right. We'll figure out soon. And I think there's no wrong answer in their thing. Like, if he can tough it out and do it, great on him. And everyone knows that there is a little bit of an injury coming in. So the result doesn't have to be what everyone had thought it was going to be coming into this. And if he misses it, it's also understood.
Yeah, absolutely. It's for sure. Well, yeah, like I say, we'll see. If he gets out there, try for practice, and he doesn't race, that's one thing. We're going to find out in the morning, see what they decide. But back to the 450 class. You know, it is cool. Keelan Meston is here on the number 10, the white Honda. See that bike?
I did see it.
Looked pretty good. You didn't like it?
I mean, it should still be blue.
Oh, blue?
Yeah, I mean, he's been blue for a bit.
Okay, so that's not the only reason I mention him. His mechanic, Sean Moffenbauer.
I know that guy.
You guys must have talked to him today.
I know that guy, yeah.
How is he doing? He's a helicopter pilot.
MX101 hat on. He's really Team MX101 if you really look closely.
Of course.
I mean, but
he is now, if you're wondering, Sean Moffenbauer. He's here. He's living just south of Saskatoon, he said. He got hired by a helicopter company that goes and sprays crops, so he's flying helicopters. That's not his end result that he wants to do with helicopter, but that's what he's doing now, and so great to see him here. Yeah, and Keelan.
Sean starts his full-time job Monday. It was supposed to be last week, but rain and all that stuff kind of postponed it, but Monday he starts full-time work, spraying crops, feeding all of us.
Yeah, pretty good. Good to see him line up. I thought when the first name I said James asked me, guess who's here? I said Moff, and he said, no, he's not. He's not.
His bike's in the van.
He's here, but he's not. Yeah.
His bike is in the van. The number 3 needs to be kept. Okay. He should be racing.
He should be, and he could keep it. I'm sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly talk. Do you think of anything else in the 250 or 450
Nothing
that
new.
Changed since? Just we talked about the track. I want to talk a little bit about the big boots to fill. WMX starts tomorrow. We got a taste of it today with Eve Brodeur not coming out west here, not racing. She might race a couple of them just to kind of show up and have some fun. We got to see today what we're probably going to see the rest of the West Coast series. That's for sure. Well, there's only, Who do you think's here to win? Do you think Kaylee Kayer? We've got Kat Ferguson.
I think you ought to go with Kayer, right?
I think so. She didn't race the second moto of the ladies today. I guess I was talking to Kitty Ferguson there. She said she did that last year as well. Doesn't want to get tired out for tomorrow's racing. Yeah. So she went out. She did make the pass to take the lead. Slingerland was looking good too. She looked good.
Yeah, no, they all look great.
Yeah.
And
Hannah Cole is all the way out here.
Okay.
Kiana Kurtz is all the way here from Ontario. So there's some top riders going to be pushing for that. I think it's going to be good battling. It's wide open, but like you say, Kaylee Kayer on that Triumph might be the one.
I would give her the nod for sure, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Okay. And I don't know a whole lot about who's racing premix. I know
Johnny Bergeron.
I know you got a guy. Johnny
Bergeron. That's a name you need to know.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny, I So I watched him today in some of the junior races. Number 38, local guy out here, fast.
Yep.
Looked really good. Jonathan looked like he was not giving it a whole 100% out there, I didn't think.
We sent him out there at 70%, and honestly, he was uncomfortable to start the day. You know, this is a new track to him. Still learning. We did a little bit of bike setup. We were fighting the bike, jetting, all that stuff, which is why we were racing today. That was the whole purpose, to dial the bike in, and by the end of the day, he had won the last Open Junior Moto by 10-15 seconds. So we accomplished today what we needed to do, but tomorrow is the end goal, and yeah, we'll show up tomorrow ready, and he's going to do his thing. Okay, excellent. All right, he's not biased. He's actually, well, he is, but Jonathan is probably the kid to beat. Yeah, he is. Also good to see, just thinking of things as I'm looking into the pits. Pits are a little different. We got a little square in the middle here. Yeah. They're going to have some vendors inside. It should kind of bring people in. Kind of a good idea, I think, to bring people in there. They can just kind of circle around that little rectangle. Looks good. I think it's going to make everything feel more full too when all the fans are in there, kind of circulating the tents. It's going to it looks busy, look good for pictures and all the press stuff. So it should be good. I think they've done a good job with it, and that's something Triple Crown is very good at, is their presence. Yeah, their presentation of the whole thing. Looks really good. They do a good job at that. What can we expect for lunch over at the MX101 pits? Chicken, burgers, probably some Caesar salad. Okay. Maybe some pasta. Okay. I'll make sure to swing by. Yeah. I mean, right before Moto 2 start, lunch will be over there. All right, and another thing pointing over there, good to see Sam Gaynor is here. Again, he's coming from that injury there. It's man, just what a nightmare he's gone through with that wrist. So he's gonna wait till the East, but he thought he'd come out here and give it a go. So he's just kind of working himself into shape again. So hopefully he can do that and get out there and that on his news. Looks funny seeing him in Husqvarna stuff. It does, yeah. I think Gaynor can kind of be the underdog on speed. You know, based off his injury fitness, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him, but I feel like he's a very good starter. Well, I know that. So I feel like it could be a little bit of an underdog on speed and a little bit of surprise, where it's like, oh, look at that. But maybe by the end of the moto, he falls back a bit. But by the East Coast, I bet you he'll be pretty strong and open some eyes. Yeah, I hope so, man. He deserves it for sure. Now, this chat was more to talk about what changes to the track and things like that. But I do want to talk about this too, since we've got Ozman here to talk about this. 250 class, Sebastian Racine versus Preston Kilroy. How's that going under the tent, and what's going to happen on the track? Everything's been great under the tent. We're starting off round one here in Calgary. This is what Preston rides every day. So we're going to start off on a strong with the number 80. I'm also working for him, so biased opinion. But this is like his backyard. He has tracks like this that he literally says is identical. Okay. And he's been training at elevation. He's been doing that stuff. So I'm leaning more towards the Kilroy side. Okay. And does he have anything for two-time champ Ryder McNabb? Yeah, he does. Of course he does, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm confident. Well, we're close. I can't doubt my guy. Never will I. No matter what happens, I will not doubt him, and he's my guy. He's a homer. He's a gamer. He's a team player. Well, thanks a lot. Yeah, Oz, we're just kind of chatting about this. Kind of fun to kind of take a look at what happened today. We did see a few things. It was interesting to see. We do have quite a few American riders that have come up. Just kind of panned through tech inspection today. Just kind of having a look. So there were some numbers I didn't know, some guys that I didn't know. Had a long chat with Inman. Inman's dad. Inman's here. He was here last year. Came back. A few other names there too. Did you any you can think of right off the bat? The crew I know coming up from Mesquite there. Evan Stice. Evan Stice is back. Gavin and McCoy, Ruffs, and Bender. Those three. I spent some time with them this winter, and they're all good guys, good racers, good people to be around. So, you know, those guys are all top 10 contenders. Stice has moved up to the 450 class, and I mean, everyone knows you don't really want to screw with him. He'll put you into the cheap seats. So so I mean, that's all we need to talk about here. We're going to all the answers will come out tomorrow. Again, it's one of those things where somebody wins, they're like, oh yeah, here we go. Somebody doesn't win, they're like, no, first round. Taking it easy, working out, you know what I mean? So either way, at the first round, there's a bit of an excuse or something you can kind of get away with. There's no excuses on an MX101 tent. Ooh, no, none. But you know what I mean. In your head, you can justify it. I know what you mean, and we're going to hear a lot of it. But under that tent, there's no excuses, and if we don't perform Tuesday, we are back to work to be better on next weekend. No doubt about that. All right, buddy. Well, let's wrap it up there. Austin Jones, check him out. 223 Motorsports on Instagram, and you must have a .com, or what do you got? Facebook. No .com yet. Working on that. Facebook. Okay. You know, I want some stuff to launch before I get the .com, but we're getting there. If I need a YZ250 air filter. Do you know a guy? Yeah, do you know a guy? I know a guy. And talk to him.
I thought I knew a guy. Apparently, I don't know a guy.
If it's for a 2-stroke, after the premix podium tomorrow, talk to the 226 at Johnny Bergeron.
Good call. Good call.
He's got some spares, and I'm sure he could help you out.
All right. Hey, all right, guys. It's we're downtown Calgary, so it's a bit of a later. We start riders meetings 8:30. We don't get out till after 9, kind of thing. Just kind of we are. I always got here year after year. I'd be early.
Yeah. I'll be early too. But I'd rather be early than late.
Grab the Ride TV app. It's going to be live. Check that out. It's not expensive. Grab that. It should be some good racing. And both classes have some interesting stories in them. So.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I feel like it's been underplayed coming into this year.
You think so?
I do.
Is that on me? Is that my fault?
No.
Okay.
No. I blame the riders.
Okay.
Not posting any off.
Okay. Oh, I see.
You know,
okay.
That's what we'll go with.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, hey, check it out tomorrow, and thanks for checking this out. And we'll see if old Ozman's around next week. We'll drag him out again. Thank you very much.